This is Casey. I am speaking to...
That's a good way to start a podcast.
That is exactly what we expected.
Lethal my voice.
I know what I'm doing. I've been on a podcast for a year.
Already off the rails.
So we are coming to you live from my friend Harold's living room.
Harold's luxurious, not luxurious apartment.
Yeah.
The Delaney Studios in beautiful downtown Bayonne, New Jersey.
Oh god.
That makes it sound really cool.
That does.
That's how we should start every episode. Live from the beautiful Delaney Studios in beautiful downtown Bayonne.
I've done this before.
Rememorex.
I've got cockroaches in my socks and dreams in my hair.
Well, we're done, right?
That's it. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
We can now just leave. This is
Episode 0, not even released.
In my hair.
Oh my
Beautiful.
I was sultry.
Go.
So this is episode 0 of our new podcast, Rememorex, Not a Test. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves, and then Sean is going to tell us what we're doing. Even though we know, but you don't. So, okay. I'll start. I'm Casey, and you'll find out who I'm going to be playing in a little while.
I'm Harold Delaney. I am Casey's friend, apparently, who owns this weird place. And you also find out, just as with Casey, who I am playing in the coming time frame. Yeah.
That was very professional.
Yeah. All right, I'm Joey Pedras, and I guess you'll find out more later.
I'm Gia Grillo, and the same thing that everyone else said.
I'm Allison Heen. I know exactly who I'm playing because I overprepared tonight. And...
Hi. I said before that I am Joshua Brain Jaffe, which was a lie. My name is Jeff Moxley. And this is my second podcast. I'm Sean Jaffe. I am one of the co-creators of Rememorex, and I will be the director for this particular story, which is set in the in-game setting, which is Clearfield, Delaware, a generic East Coast suburb in 1983. At this point, I'm gonna sort of let you guys fill in the rest. The town itself has already got a lot of history to it because we've been role-playing other games set in this setting for, at this point, 2 years. So the town is very alive, and we will probably be making references to things that have happened before, and I'll do my level best to sort of explain that as it goes on. So if somebody's like, yeah, we're all gonna go over to the Big Town Mall, I can be like, well, the Big Town Mall is, right on the corner of Gossipville and Clearfield or whatever, and just sort of give you guys a little bit of the world as it happens, right?
Yeah, beautiful. About right.
Sounds good. So what we're doing tonight is we are creating our characters for the game, because unlike a lot of other role-playing games, with Rememorex you can basically just create your character on the go. Sean, as the co-creator of Rememorex, do you want to explain how character creation works for the lovely people at home?
Sure. So you have 3 stats.
Oh, mine.
Yeah, I'm stealing it.
Now Sean can make his own character.
Ah, fantastic. Here, we'll trade back. So you have 3 stats, and you decide what those 3 stats are. Type, training, and talent. Your type is the only one that's in any way prescriptive. There are 5 types in the book, as John Hughes taught us. There are 5 types of kids. There's the brain, the basket case, the athlete, the criminal, and the prince or princess. And you will sort of modify that, so you could be like, I'm the rich princess, or I am the jester criminal, or I am the dedicated athlete. You can sort of modify those, and then from there, you're on your own. You say whatever your training is, whatever you think your character is best at. I am a playground entrepreneur. I am a homecoming queen. I am the quarterback master. I am arcade king. Whatever you want. Talent is what makes your character unique, and it can be anything. Like, it's really examples of talents we've had in the past. The junior high school bully whose talent was the actual worst. The heavy metal burnout whose talent was Rainbow in the Dark.
The trickster princess whose talent was Louise Parker can't lose.
Right. Exactly. So it's very much you sort of tell me what your stats are, and then assign 2 numbers to each stat, and then that's the heavy lifting of it. From that point on, it's going to be creating little sort of ideals for your character, which are actually played rather close to the chest. And right now I'm realizing I'm not sure how we're going to do that, and maybe we'll discuss that a little bit, because that's something that comes out in play, and it's very private. And then lastly, the relationships, which is the fun part, where we're going to determine who is connected to who and how, and decide how we're going to make these sorts of connections, because it's junior high school and your personal connections are going to be just an absolute train wreck of drama because junior high school. Does that cover?
Sounds shibby.
Yes.
All right.
Be good.
And really quickly, what are the, for the listeners, what are the, you were talking about assigning the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
What are the numbers?
All right. So the numbers are, you have, like I said, you have 3 stats. You have 8 to put in your primary stat, and you decide what is primary, secondary, tertiary. You go 8, 6, 4. And then you decide, so if you put like a 6 in Homecoming Queen, you can go back and forth between active Homecoming Queen and passive Homecoming Queen. The quickest way I can explain this is active use is doing things, passive use is knowing and noticing things. Active Homecoming Queen is, I'm going to jump on top of the human pyramid and rally our team to win the game. Passive Homecoming Queen is, I'm going to notice that bitch Denise has stolen my boyfriend or something. So
That bitch Denise hasn't washed her hair.
In a long time.
So I shouldn't tell anybody that I'm playing someone named Denise. I got it.
Are you playing as someone named Denise?
That would be so
That
good.
bitch.
Wait, you guys have names already?
No.
Some of us maybe have thought of things for such.
We were all basically doing this off the cuff, except for me, because I have no life.
We might all have, like,
Vague
so
ideas.
we're coming into this having talked about this beforehand, of just kind of trying to make it up off the cuff, but we decided beforehand that we're gonna each play one of the archetypes because there are 5 of us. So Allie's gonna play the athlete, I'm gonna be playing the brain, Harold is gonna be the criminal, Joey's gonna be the basket case, and Gia's gonna be the princess. And or prince. Don't know yet. Jason's
Who can tell? What?
Jason starts screaming in the distance.
I'm the prince.
I'm the prince.
He is a prince.
He is, I know.
Is he? Oh, yeah,
He's a delinquent prince.
I keep thinking he's a criminal.
Yeah,
He's just
right?
so good at delinquency.
Yep.
No.
These are, of course, characters we're playing in our other game
other
that we are
campaigns.
currently playing. Yes.
Yeah, are not for the Radio Waves games,
Yes.
but
They're too risque.
they're too
It's
risky.
copyrighted. We use a lot of copyright. Otherwise, I would be.
I thought it was because of all the boners.
No, just because Jason is king of boners does not mean we can't play on the air.
King of all boners.
Yes.
We just
You
have to bleep out
technically
the
hold the
boners.
copyright on all your characters' boners.
That's good to know. Because I was thinking of publishing all of those boners.
All my characters' boners. The Geographic story.
We just, but it's like a soap opera.
It's a novella.
Yeah.
And the theme song is the theme song from All My Children.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. That,
I don't
It's
remember the one
copyrighted,
from
though.
All My Children. I only
Well,
remember
okay,
one
we
from Days
can
of Our
mention
Lives.
copyrighted things, we just can't play them.
Yeah, so just say the words theme to
Not
All My Children
Yeah,
over.
we'll
Sing them badly.
We just,
I'm really good at that.
we can sing them badly for I think like 5 seconds actually.
Okay.
We can actually like have like 5 seconds of us like, I think that's the legal thing.
So I
I'll
can
have
do
to
like
check.
ba 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 doot, but that's it.
Yeah, I think
or
so,
like
'cause
boom, boom, beep, bop, boop.
once,
I have no idea what
I
that
don't,
was.
I don't
Okay.
know. Producer speak here. We're gonna let's get this gig rolling. That's
Show on the road.
producer speak.
That's producer speak.
Who do you think should go
That's-
first, producer?
As you command, boss.
I actually have a question before we get too in depth. Is this rated R?
Yeah.
I
That's a
I think that
This
knowing us,
It's gonna have.
Yes.
we're gonna have
There's
to
gonna be
rate
some-
this.
There's gonna be
PG-13
some
to R.
F-bombs
There's
dropped.
there's gonna be definite cursing.
There probably will be
Possibly
a fuck word or
not.
two.
But there you go. There's gonna be
Capital
some cursing
cursing.
tonight. When we're playing our characters, there's probably gonna be a lot of cursing.
Oh, so much.
But we're also middle schoolers in this one, so there's not going to be as much sex.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about the sex. I'm concerned about remembering whether or not I have to remember to watch my mouth.
I kind of love the idea if you curse of us just beeping it out.
I'm still for that, or like just recording a bunch of like.
Feels so good.
What is it called? Like McMurphying or something like that? Like when you
No,
there's
when
like
you go
a
into
that there's like
That's
a
when you
word
go to
for it.
coma. That's when you get a lobotomy.
No, there's like a word for when you replace a curse word in like a TV show. But I can't remember what it. No, there's like a
when
specific
you, like,
word
it's
for
like
it.
a ridiculous replacement.
Yeah,
What's
like
that
one of the
called?
ridiculous replacements.
When you
There's, like,
find a stranger in the Alps.
Yeah, there's a specific word for that.
Oh, there is.
I know
Yeah,
that.
I don't know the word though.
But
Yeah, I
I'm
know
a
what you're
fan.
talking
I'm a
about.
fan of the idea of doing that when we for our.
I'm
for
cool
our
with it.
words. Like we can just like sit down and like record a bunch of like
Like
pancakes.
fudges.
Samantha.
Yeah, that 100%
Okay,
that.
good. I'm glad.
100% Samantha.
Just someone screaming "fuck" and then you just replace it.
Samantha. Exactly.
So, okay. Well, you seem to have a lot of ideas for your character, so why don't you go first?
Oh wow, that puts me on the spot.
Well, you're the one who came
I mean,
in, like,
that's the thing. Are we gonna like spitball some stuff?
I feel like
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
spitballing
we should
things
just-
is really important.
But I do
Sure.
think if Allie has some stuff, that's a good place to start, just so that
Yeah.
we're not overlapping
Oh, cool.
characteristics or anything.
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
And
Because
also,
even though within character creation, even if you have a different character type, there is sometimes some overlapping similarities in character.
Oh, absolutely,
So we'll-
because as much as we're playing archetypes of the 80s movies and film and whatnot, we're not playing like pure stereotypes.
Yeah.
Of course, those are reflected in the characters that we play, but it's not like athletes only do athlete stuff.
Yeah,
Or brains
unless
are only smart.
Yeah.
Unless they want to.
unless they want to. So,
unless they're big beefy boys that just really want to be beefy boys.
some beefy boys want beef.
I prefer buzzy boys.
Fuzzy boys.
Like bees?
Yeah,
Like bees. Yeah, I also prefer bees.
That might actually work directly into my talent, oddly enough.
Nice.
Puppy boy?
Something about buzzing.
I'm not on board.
Okay.
So, I am playing the athlete. I was thinking that she'd be from, like, the cusp of upper middle class and lower upper class. Because sometimes you need a rich person in town to not be the nicest at times. And now I'm not so much playing that because my character would be like that, but that's the kind of thing I'd want for her background. And I was thinking her name would be Lauren Moreno. Not
Italian. Oh, actually, question for Sean. Where is this taking place?
Clearfield.
Oh, it is Clearfield.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, that
Clearfield.
changes things slightly. I thought we were doing a new town. But that's fine.
Why not bring it back to the best town?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Everything comes back.
I say even though I
No,
wasn't in the
no.
original
That's totally
Clearfield.
fine. I had just completely forgotten that, and so thoughts that I had were different. So I'm gonna rethink the thoughts that I had. Continue.
Okay.
Well, let's get her started.
What you're doing.
So Lauren's older sister is a junior in high school and is a goth. So she has to be the best little athlete she can, because otherwise she's just be a disappointment like her sister.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Gotta stay away from this close cigarette.
83. Okay,
What?
so it's 83.
Yeah.
And then the milestone, like the snapshot we can use is the young ones. And I was saying about Neil.
Yeah.
So you might not call her a goth. You
She's
might
just
call
a
her
weirdo.
or a weirdo.
She's
I
just
don't
a
think
general
goth is a
weirdo.
term yet.
I mean, at the point where Bauhaus became a thing, I figured goth was a thing.
But goth as a word was
fair.
like, we're trying to kind of pinpoint this in our own minds too, but like,
And I don't wanna
she's
be like
just a
total
general
sucker for it.
weirdo.
General weirdo, that sounds good.
It's more like me just trying to hone in on it in my own head. Because I think a lot of that was sort of retroactively applied. The idea of it as movement, I think, was started in 89, at least in, like, a bullshit town in southern Delaware. Like, there's definitely goths in New York and San Francisco and London, but Delaware probably doesn't know what to call them. Probably just punk, right? Should they just call it punk?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think
Yeah.
probably.
yeah.
It's good to note that. And so Lauren is someone who is always in some type of athletic gear. She only really does cross country, but she definitely is the kind of girl who just goes into school ready for gym class and ready to practice afterwards. So she's very big into jogging, and she doesn't even take the bus if she's within reach of the school, at least, which we could find out about later. And so, hadn't figured out all of her things, but I figured that's the kind of person I'm playing.
I have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
First of all, what is your sister's name?
I was thinking Jessica.
Okay. Does she go by Jessica, or does she go by like something like Cutthroat or whatever?
I mean, if you have some suggestions, I hadn't gone that far.
What was Leanna Quigley's?
Spider.
It was. Yeah,
It was,
it was Trash.
Trash was Return of the Living Dead. Spider was Slime Ball in the Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bolorama.
All right, so I'm going to leave it up to you, Allie. Sorority Babes or Return of the Living Dead?
Return of the Living Dead, obviously.
Trash.
Okay.
You'd be surprised. Slime Ball Bolorama is really good, and Linnea Quigley is a bamf in it.
I'm not saying it's a bad choice, it's just the choice that makes more sense for me.
Right.
Okay.
Jessica Trash Moreno. All right.
And it sounds like something her parents would call her, too.
Yeah.
So, perfect.
You're trash. You're trash. She's like, I'm taking up this mantle.
Get a job.
You're no good.
Trash.
You're no good, Trash. You're just like your father.
A real estate agent.
A real
So you know that your parents are real estate agents.
Dad's a real estate agent.
That's officially canon.
Oh,
my mom.
Your dad works for Chandler Development.
Of course.
Oh, that's nice.
Of course.
That's a thing.
Just to warn everybody, because of the fact that we were playing in Clearfield, which is the first town that Sean ever ran as a Rememorex game, there are going to be a lot of oohs and ahs based on previous references that nobody's going to get but us.
And not me. And Joey, you weren't in it either, right?
And neither was I.
Oh,
I
so
am
the
currently
So
wearing
three of
a
you.
t-shirt of my
the
character's
three of us.
name.
I thought you were in it.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
so me, Allie, and Joey were not in the original Clearfield game, so
For
all
what
the
it's worth.
oohs and ahs are going to be as new to us as they are to you, to your listeners.
But that's right, it's in the book, so anybody who owns a copy of the book and has read through it, you will know some, if not all, references.
And that book is available where, Gia?
On Drive-Thru RPG, Harold.
Exactly.
Ah.
Plug.
Time for a quick commercial break. Do you want to buy a book?
We know you listen to a podcast. Would you like to buy a book?
Why are you
Buy a book!
Why are you guys doing
Have you heard of reading?
I like that you're Muppets for this.
We got a book for you. Rememorex.
What did you say, Sean?
I said I like that you're Muppets for this.
We are.
Very
The game of suburban 80s horror.
Buy a book, you damn kids!
Get off my lawn.
Read for once! For once in your life!
Okay, so yeah, first question is what is Jessica's name? Trash. There we go.
Yes.
That's gonna carry some weight with it as well, because I just realized, we just sort of, whether we like it or not, we sort of established that your older sister is kind of Leanna Quigley, which explains a lot of how you wound up being as not Leanna Quigley as you could possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to explain who that is for the listeners?
Linnea Quigley?
Yeah, did I say Leanna?
You said
You
Leanna.
said Leanna.
Linnea Quigley is a very prominent scream queen of the 80s, who could be seen in such movies as, we said, as Return of the Living Dead, Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bolorama, as well as being just a pair of tits in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4.
Wait, really?
So, you know the part where there's the giant oversized, like, where all of the souls are, like, busting out of Freddy? I think it's in 4. And there's, like, and they have the giant oversized piece with the actual people behind it pushing on, like, a membrane. And there's just tits coming out. Those are Linnea Quigley's tits. Because they're one of the greatest sets of tits of the 80s.
The more you know.
Okay.
Sparkly star.
Yeah.
Anyway, next question. What is your sport?
Cross country.
Cross country what? I'm not a sports guy.
That's like running, jumping, climbing trees, putting on
so
makeup
it's like
when
a
you're
track
up there.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
track and
track.
field. It would
Cross-country, track
probably
and
be track and field
Yeah.
for high school. High school, grade school would be
But
considered
either
track and field.
sometimes people, specialize in one thing or another. I figured if someone being in middle school, they're not going for the full program, but like a light amount of program.
Yeah, but it would be full under track and field if you're doing the running and any like shot put or long jump stuff.
Yeah.
So you're kind of sort of Olympic bound, at least in your dreams.
That's her hope.
All right. That's your dad works for Chandler. Any idea what your mom does?
Stay-at-home mom, because they're well off enough that she doesn't need to work.
Okay. Last important question. Do you live in Fairview or do you live in Clearfield?
Fairview.
Nice. Okay, we'll get you by the lake.
Nice lake house. Fire pit. Personal kayak. Kind of life I never
So then in Clearfield County there are 3 towns. There's Gossipville, which is the industrial, it's sort of where the businesses, more of the industry is based, not like commercial business. Clearfield, which is the sort of classic suburbia, and Fairview, which was part of Clearfield and split off to become sort of its own municipality around the turn of the century, and it is where the rich people live, and it's up by the lake.
Beautiful little snapshot of suburbia.
Yes.
What suburbia could be. And then there's Gossipville.
Which is 80% dumpster.
80%.
20% fire.
Well, there's also a lot of Lockheed.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
The other 40% is Lockheed.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean,
which is also
Lockheed
fire.
and fire.
Lockheed and fire.
Yeah, that's it.
Same
Spy planes
difference.
and fire. Okay, who wants to go next?
Who else has ideas? You have ideas?
I know exactly.
I have a name and a one possible thing.
Yeah.
So
I have a few.
I have a real good things. Okay, so my brain, her name is Maddie Ramus, because I can't have a character that doesn't have a fucking nickname. That's just my what is it? My mark here. I'm having trouble with words today.
You're the thing that you do?
Yeah, it's the thing that I have.
Your thing.
your thing.
My trademark.
Your trademark.
It's my trademark.
What's your last name again?
Ramus. Ramis.
Oh.
Oh.
Just got it.
Yeah. Because she's the nerd.
Yeah. That's
So
great.
I was gonna make a reference. So her thing is that she was the Scripps National Spelling Bee champion when she was 11.
Great.
And she lost it the next year when she went back, and she has never recovered. She is for someone who's playing a spelling bee champion, I'm having a crap ton of trouble with words tonight.
She's like a burnout,
Not like she's
really
a burnout, but
hitting those Capri Suns hard.
She peaked at 11.
She peaked at 11, exactly.
Wow.
In 6th grade.
I was just gonna
She
say
peaked.
you're the brain version of Ken Bread.
She's exactly the brain.
I wonder who
And-
Ken Bread is.
And she
Shout out to Ken Bread. Hey Ken Bread.
He's got the best pool.
The best.
And so she's in the chess club, and she kind of is trying to find a way to relive that glory through chess at this point.
Nice.
She is a middle child also, I've decided. She has an older sister who's a cheerleader at the high school, and a younger brother who in my head is very like Jason Scott. Which for the people who don't know, which is literally everyone not at this table, it's kind of
He's kind of shitty.
yeah.
He's kind of a shitty asshole.
He's a classic little brother.
Yeah, he's 11 in my head. He's in 6th grade, so she sees him all the time at school, and it's just very oh my god.
Super into Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, he loves
Oh,
her.
yeah.
They're not out.
Oh no, yeah. I was
It's
just gonna say.
Cabbage Patch Kids, which he's not into.
He's not into Cabbage Patch Kids. He really likes. What about Muscle Men? Would they have been out yet?
It'd be later. This is the one thing I've got a solid timeline on is when the toys came out.
What toys were out?
What's it
in
called?
83?
Mad Balls.
Nah, still.
Still too late?
All of this stuff was in reaction to Star Wars. Nobody was going to go up against Star Wars in the year that Return of the Jedi
Yeah,
came
that's
out.
true.
You would have Star Wars guys.
You just have Star Wars
guys.
guys. Yeah.
Oh, it's 83, so the only thing that might even have the beginnings of the ability to compete, G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, but he wouldn't have G.I. Joe. Unless he's the kind of kid
No, you
who
would definitely have
straps
G.I. Joe.
M80s to G.I. Joes.
He is exactly that kid. That is
That's
exactly
nailed
my
it.
little brother.
See, I remember all the bad kids had G.I. Joe because that was like a war toy. Like Star Wars, it was under the guise of science fiction. You were learning about space.
Yeah.
But G.I. Joe was we're just taking off it's just about killing other people.
Yeah.
What
So
did
there
you
you go.
learn from Star Wars about space?
Hey, they put out these
So,
amazing books where C-3PO and R2-D2 would actually teach you about space.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
put out
there
an
was a bunch of
amazing...
those,
yeah, they have put out children's books that, like,
I never
did...
read those. They're too boring.
And
They're really cute.
They were kind of a bummer when you were a little kid because it was always like, hey, yeah. So you pick this book up and it's like, oh, I bet I'm going to get a Millennium Falcon and fly away. It was immediately like C-3PO just destroying all of your dreams. He's like, well, first off, space travel doesn't work anything like it does for us because we're awesome in droids, but you're going to have to get in a rocket ship that's going to take you maybe half a mile above the Earth, and then the Russians are going to shoot at you, and it's all tragedy, and nothing's going to be cool, and you're like, oh man, I liked it better when you guys were doing this. And it just...
C-3PO was the biggest downer.
He really was.
He's just like,
He's like, I bet you'd like to go to another solar system. Good luck with that. It'll take you 300 years. And you're like, damn it, C-3PO. Just lie to me or something. I'll keep the dream alive.
Lie to me, 3PO.
Lie to me.
I want a shirt that says lie to me, 3PO.
I do too, actually. You know who wants that shirt most of all?
Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Yeah, he does.
All right. Sorry. That was a high five for all of you.
That was a high five.
It was a good one. It was crisp.
good.
It was a crisp high five.
Our rings clanked.
It did. Okay. Older sister's name? If you don't have one yet, we'll
I have one for you.
Go for it.
She's a cheerleader.
Mhm.
You know what I don't think we've ever had as a cheerleader? Becky.
Becky.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Courtney Becker-Stead, but not
Yeah.
Becky.
No Becky's.
I was gonna go with Amber. But
That's
Becky's
also
better.
good. What's your brother's
Amber's
name?
pretty good.
I
Kind of want to
in
name
my
him
head.
Jason.
Go for it.
What is it? What is your name?
For some reason, in my mind, your little brother's name is Otis.
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 Odie.
Otis is a little chubby.
Otis Ramus.
Otis Ramus.
Oh.
Ugh.
Otis Ramus wipes boogers on everybody's backpack.
Yeah.
You get a booger on your backpack, like, Otis Ramus was here. You know, it just happened.
He's just the worst.
He's
The worst brother.
the worst.
Because he's got, like... and to be fair to him, he has, like, to compete with the two perfect older sisters.
That's interesting. Like, I'm like putting this in context of something that is 0 podcast value. Joey, you can stop the tape here.
Don't stop the tape.
The
Stop.
younger brother, older brother thing is kind of fascinating with regard to the other characters in town. So it dawned on me, like, Otis would probably be about the same age as, like, Sexton and Julie.
Would he? I thought that we would have been.
No, that's right. You guys would be the same age. So
So-
then Otis would be the same age as, I'm sorry, Derek and KC. So
Oh my
Otis
God.
is terrified of KC.
You know
Yeah.
who Otis kind of is starting to sound like? What was Ralph's character's name in the
I
other
have to
game?
look that up. I don't know.
Because he was like, he was all eating
the
bugs
gross
and
child,
he was
yeah.
gross. Like, his whole
He was the
concept was
boy.
gross.
Yeah, she was like, if you give me $1, I'll eat a worm. That kid. Yeah.
That's 100% my brother.
Okay. We can pick back up. I just figured that wasn't going to be fun for anybody but us. And then your parents.
Mhm.
Anything on them?
Well, we're middle class, and I kind of feel like her mom, like, works part-time, like, maybe at a library, and her dad is some sort of a businessman or scientist, but I haven't, whichever one.
Dad works at Lockheed.
Sure.
R&D sounds like a good thing.
You don't need to necessarily know what he does. He just goes into that big facility and you don't see him.
Light the fire.
Her parents are both quite nerdy as well.
As a kid in the 80s who had a dad that worked in the military-industrial complex, you knew that he worked for a company, and that was about it. Occasionally, he would come home with a haunted look in his eye and not want to talk about his work, and that would be about it.
Was Lockheed, Lockheed?
Yep.
So we're supposed to be 14?
Yeah, 13, 14.
13, 14?
Her dad named Eugene because it's almost Egon.
Almost. Not quite.
We occasionally like to think that our characters and the characters in the town are played by actors.
Oh, her dad is 100% played by Harold Ramis.
Who's your mom? What's your mom's name? Is it Brenda? All moms are named Brenda.
Yes.
Brenda
Or Janice.
or Janice or what was
No, I have an aunt.
Linda.
Janice, too close.
They're all mom names.
Barbara.
Barbara.
Lisa.
Nancy?
Lisa. That's a daughter name. That's not a mom name.
I always thought of Lisa as a mom name because my mom had a
Really?
best friend named Lisa.
That's so weird. Like, I can't. I think of, like, yeah, Brenda, Janice,
Maureen.
Jean.
Oh, Maureen. But then your parents are Maureen and Eugene.
Yes.
That's
great.
That's amazing.
Oh, man.
And she's Irish,
Beautiful.
the mom.
Okay.
Not necessarily from Ireland, but...
So who plays the mom?
I know if you don't.
Okay.
Catherine O'Hara.
Oh.
Good.
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
good at casting.
That's too good.
Yeah,
I'm
you
really
are.
good at
You
casting.
It's one of your superpowers.
It is. Casting, wearing hats.
Yeah, those
That's
are
true.
two
You're really good
100%
at
true
that.
things.
You want to know why I'm so good at casting?
Because you're the boss. Shut up, G.
Fart
He's
noise.
fired from the podcast. Allie, you play Gia.
Okay. I'm into this.
Listen.
Listen.
Larry Cohen.
Oh,
Jim Jarmusch.
there it is.
Eugene and Maureen Otis.
It's not always Jim
Eugene and
Jarmusch.
Maureen Ramus.
That's fantastic.
And their 3 kids. Those poor parents with their
The Ramus kids.
Ramus kids. We're like the reverse breads.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
yeah.
You're the intellectual breads.
Except
Your
for my brother.
whole wheat.
Whole wheat.
The whole wheat.
We have all the best science toys at our house.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got like the model rocket kit with like the actual
chemistry
rockets and
set.
you launch them in the backyard of the school and leave them on the roof.
My older sister is a cheerleader, but she's also going to be
That's her
valedictorian.
rebellion, is that she's a cheerleader. Like everybody else is like kind of into something nerdy, and her rebellion is like, no, I'm going to be normal and be a damn cheerleader. She's like the blonde chick from the Munsters. She's like
Marilyn.
Except for Marilyn doesn't want to be normal.
No,
Yeah,
sure.
that's
It's a
I
curse.
love Marilyn because she's like, oh, I'm like the weird one, and they're like, we love you anyway, but you're fucking weird.
It's like everyone's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and she's like, "You're just saying that. I'm so ugly." And
Yeah.
eventually,
yeah.
you're beautiful, but like your entire family is werewolves and vampires. And shit.
And a Frankenstein.
And then in that one weird remake, your grandpa was Eddie Izzard.
Yeah, I never saw any of that one. Yeah, was that Brian
13.
Fuller and
Yeah,
and Barry Sonnenfeld,
one
right?
episode,
Yeah.
and it could have been so good, and then they canceled it after one episode.
Yeah. I think it was Brian Fuller and Barry Sonnenfeld.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It was like going to be like a darker version. Maybe they'll bring it back now that they're doing much darker versions of the old
Literally
television
everything,
shows.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'd be into
The
that.
Monsters.
I'm really excited about the much darker version of Charles in Charge.
But
He's a
here's
serial killer.
Here's the weirdest thing, though, Harold, is that they
Charles in charge of your blood.
in this new one, in this the
Charles
newer
has
one
been
that that they didn't end up releasing any more than one episode.
Yeah.
It was
Mockingbird
stated
Lane.
that Mockingbird
Yeah.
Lane. It was stated
Kyle
that
Honeycomb.
Grandpa made what's his name, the dad.
Oh, Herman?
Yeah, Grandpa
For
made
Lily?
Herman, and Lily fell in love with him despite Grandpa not wanting that to happen. And he had
love
to kill.
that
He had to
idea.
he had to kill people to get new parts to help keep Herman alive.
I don't remember that.
I like that idea.
It was something like that. Yeah.
That is sweet and creepy at the exact
Well,
same
because they're
time.
monsters.
I know.
Wasn't Jerry O'Connell in that for some reason?
Yeah, he was Herman.
Was he Herman?
Jerry O'Connell was Herman Munster.
Oh.
We're getting way off track
It's
here.
weird as
Jerry
Christian Bale
O'Connell
being fucking
used
Dick
to
Cheney.
date a girl that I used to date. It's like one
You guys are
step removed.
you guys are clam cousins.
Yeah, we're
Clam
Was it-
Cousins is better
was it
than
someone with a
Eskimo. That's a
clam?
lot better.
yeah. I thought it was.
We do Taco Bros.
Yeah, Taco Bros.
Oh, I like Taco
and
Bros so
banana
much more.
hermanas.
Banana Hermanas.
We always said clam. We always said clam
But
cousins.
Eskimo Brothers, that's so much better. Both of those things are so much better than what we
Less
would say.
racist.
Yeah, like by a large margin.
Yeah,
All right.
Taco Bros.
Yeah, Taco
So-
Bros is great.
Continue.
Well,
Okay.
we haven't done our types training and talent yet.
I've
So we're
done
just,
a
I think
lot
we're
of
just
things.
doing our
Yeah,
basics
circle
right now.
But do you have anything else?
That's basically my basics of my idea I have for her. She's like,
Okay. I'm gonna ask you one other question.
Sure.
And this is very important. What weird pet does your family have?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
It's
A
not a dog
weird
or a
pet.
cat. It's something weird.
iguana,
Yes. Yes.
Good.
All right.
and its name is Iggy.
Oh.
The younger brother named him that. the one thing he's left.
That's great. Okay.
He saw Iggy Pop on the television.
All right.
Yep.
On the
And
television.
he was like, "This is a good name for an
Sexy
iguana."
Iggy Pop on.
I in my head, like the iguana's original name was like something really nerdy, like Einstein or some shit, and then like something like that a nerd family would name their pet, and then like Otis was like, "Wait, I saw this guy on the television, and he had the perfect name for this for an
Rolling
iguana.
around in glass. He's made out of heroin. That's
This iguana is named Iggy now," and everyone's just like, "Okay,
I love that.
we have to give him what he wants, so he won't keep blowing up dolls in the backyard."
Yeah. I mean, he will, but
If he loves it, he won't kill it.
If we let him name it, maybe he won't blow it up.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the plan. I feel like Otis is conversely like fiercely protective of Iggy and vice versa.
Yes. It's the family iguana, but it's really Otis's iguana.
That's fair.
Oh.
Sits on his head.
It eats Skittles out of his hand.
Yeah,
They share worms.
It's one of those. It's huge. Like it's like one of those like 5 feet long now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's grown too.
Basically a dog.
And now he wants to be your dog.
Nice.
Thank
Take it
you.
back around. All right. Who's next?
Pretty good.
You wanna
got
go?
stuff?
Yeah, I've got stuff.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I have stuff, but you can go.
Well, we can go around in like.
Yeah, we're
we're
kind
doing
of
this
going
now.
around in this way anyway.
It's
So
really important for
I
this
got-
visual medium that we go around in a purpose.
Yeah, this is not a visual medium. We need to do a perfect semicircle.
Gosh, I hope you're ready.
To you.
So, the end result, his name is Charles Isley O'Keefe. Started out with the idea that since we're going to do a criminal, and since I needed to change myself as much as possible for it, that the best idea is to go into my best accent that I've got, which is this one. Which, as we've discussed in the past, is kind of like a terrible Irish accent to the point where it seems like I'm making it up to be in part of the new Boondock Saints movie.
No.
Oh no.
So, Charles O'Keefe was what his name was before he moved to Gossipville in 1982 with just his dad. His dad's name is simply Thomas, so it's Thomas O'Keefe and Charles O'Keefe. Charles was his grandfather's name. They moved to Gossipville. His father, I want to say, got a good deal working not like civilian security at Lockgate. So I don't want to say that he's making much money. He's just kind of like the guy who sits at a booth and checks to make sure that you're okay while the guys with guns question you, in the event there are guys with guns. Mom is not in the picture because they moved from southeastern New York City in 1982 after Mom died of what was an unknown pathogen originally, but was then pointed out she is one of the 272 reported deaths of said new contagion, if we all
Grids?
understand.
It's grids, right?
It ends up being AIDS.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah,
it was,
it was grids.
I'm
Grids.
looking up. A committee of federal officials in 1982 decided on AIDS as the name in 82 in
Oh, okay,
July.
so
So
it's- yeah.
they would have known by the end when they came over.
acquired immunodeficiency. But yeah, the
Yes.
earlier before that, it was called
Grids.
gay-related immune deficiency.
Yes.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So her...
Maybe sucked.
Yeah. So his mother dies of it. Because I've realized that, like, as Harold, in the past, I've played characters with single mothers where fathers have been not there. Or I've had that happen consistently, or having two families. So having the other option for this game feels right. The name Isley actually came from the people in Clearfield because they thought that, number one, he was Irish, so automatically they wanted to give him this weird, like, they wanted to call him Ireland. And then they figured out that anything that they needed, he could get. So, being that there's enough Dorkitude in Clearfield, they wanted to start calling him Moss Isley, but then they gave up on that and just went to Isley because it fills up. So, he is he's specifically the place of all scum and villainy of the, like, middle school, if that would make sense, if he's being moved from Gossipville over to Clifford. Tully Hive? Or junior high? What's the junior high's name again?
It's Dr. Elias Thorne Junior High,
Elias Thorne, that was it.
also known as the Monster, or the Supreme Evil
Yes.
by the students. Deepest cut in the game.
He's so proud of it.
So yeah, what would you... Do you have any questions at this point? Because I'm trying to flush him out a little bit more, but so far what I've got is
All right.
this.
So he's able to procure things for people. He's the hookup.
He's the hookup.
Junior high school hookup. Okay. What is your source?
I was thinking...
I mean, you're presumably bringing stuff from New York, and you've got, like, a lot of tight... Like, I'm guessing he's originally from... If he's got the accent, he's got to be originally from Ireland.
Possibly.
Or is he faking it?
He might be faking it entirely.
Okay.
That's the question. He's probably faking it, but, like, since he's got this...
It's an
really Irish
affectation.
Name, it's this good, like...
Makes him feel closer to his
Makes
dad.
him feel... Well, his father doesn't even have the accent. His father, like, has a normal, like... People don't know his house. Like, his dad has this, like... Well, I mean, in the end result, like, Charlie, you have to stop, like, doing what you're doing. And he just goes off. He's just tired and goes off to work. And then Charlie is, meanwhile, getting stuff from... I knew that his contact in New York had to be named Scuzz. Instantaneously after meeting Scuzz. And, like, they
that's a great shout out.
Perfect.
Okay.
Shout out to Scuzz, because he's amazing. So, Scuzz is his hookup in New York who sends him what he needs. And he...
What is his primary thing? What is he... I mean, he can get anything, but
he can get anything. Being that he's this little Irish punk kid, his main thing is, like...
Is it music?
It's music is one. The second thing, due to Bowery contingencies, would be, like, questionably, oh yeah, that's totally oregano. Essentially, like, oh yeah, it's totally drugs.
Okay.
I can totally get you drugs.
Okay.
It might be like, aspirin, but that's the thing. Don't worry about it. I've got a guy, he hung out with the Stooges, it doesn't matter. You got this. That type of, like, that kid.
Why does my Quaalude have Dino on it?
Exactly.
I got a Wilbur. I'm gonna be flying high.
Questionable drug dealing nonsense, but that's his music and drug fake / real. I'm doing quotations in the air, which makes no sense.
Air quotes, air quotes.
Air quotes, air quotes. Drugs. Or possibly actually drugs if you can actually get weed, but it's very, very minor if you ever actually pull it off.
Alright, so I figured it's primarily like, contraband punk albums, so...
Usually.
What would it be, like, what is it, Void?
Wait, what's the question?
Trying to think of, like, punk bands, like, there's obviously the Damned, the Sex Pistols.
Misfits,
Addicts.
the Kinks, the...
The Kinks were on, like, MTV, I don't...
Yeah.
No, they're right, 70s, sorry.
83!
The Ramones.
Yeah, that's the 70s. The Misfits just started. They came out in 82.
Velvet
Actually,
Underground.
this is back when MTV was
like
still fairly subversive, so, like, that doesn't
Minor
necessarily...
Threat totally existed.
Yeah.
Like, we were more into a hardcore age, so that was really kind of taking over the punk scene.
Also,
So you
the
had Bad
Decemberists.
Brains that were
Not the
active
Decemberists.
still.
Oh, there
Who is it?
No, they weren't. Bad Brains?
Decemberists?
Not Decemberists. That was the wrong person.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of...
Yeah,
I'm
Bad
trying
Brains is about that. Yeah, and actually Bad Brains is local.
Yeah,
Because
they're
they're in
DC.
Washington, and you guys are in Delaware, which is that far
Actually, by this point, they were actually kicked out of performing in DC at all.
Oh,
They
yeah?
literally have a song
MC5.
called Abandoned DC
Right.
because all the clubs there did not want them.
The New York Dolls.
Yeah, New York
the
Dolls.
They've been around for
yeah.
a while, thankfully.
Yeah.
Like, they were
Television.
Talking Heads. No, the Descendants I meant to say. It was not the
Patti
Descendants.
Oh, yeah.
Smith.
Descendants.
Yes.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Descendants.
Yes.
The
Descendants.
Heartbreakers.
Bad Religion.
The Dictators.
Obviously, The Clash is still
Even though they
doing
moved
weird.
out of
The
The
Clash has done their
genre,
weird album in
Blondie,
'82.
They definitely moved out of punk pure.
Vandals. Yeah, 1982. Who is this? I'm looking at all of the possibilities. Yeah, Bad Brains are
The Buzzcocks.
Actually, that's my training, but the Buzzcocks only released one album before in like 70 something. Then my training for him, even though we're not going into it, is Nevermind the Buzzcocks.
I love
This is
that.
actually
Because-
training.
That's good.
Because the Sex Pistols.
That's
Exactly. Because of the Sex Pistols.
X-Ray Specs. Were they around back then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Boomtown Rats.
definitely.
They were not punk.
They weren't punk, but they were definitely around.
Yeah, they definitely existed.
I'm thinking, like, even if we can go back to, like, he'd still kind of be into Joy Division.
The Voidoids, that's what it's... I don't know how you pronounce that.
Definitely Iggy
Voidoids?
Pop. Iggy Pop. He's got on his on my playlist for him. He's centered around the Clash, the Dead Boys, the Germs, Dead Kennedys,
Susie Sue.
Kinks.
Kennedy.
Yeah,
So, like,
so
that's
doing
where
the Banshees.
Susie Sue and the Banshees.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where he's like stuck on at this moment. The Misfits is his new wave. There's a part of like him in my head Or I really wanted Skulls and Astro Zombies to have something to do with like the character sheet, and I was like, you know what, Samantha it.
Samantha. Black Flag.
Yeah. Any other questions, man?
No, it seems it's pretty much yeah. And no brothers or sisters, I assume.
No.
And living in Gossipville.
Yes. And now we have dead air too, as we're all typing.
Yeah,
and
just thinking.
Definitely not.
Who?
That's fine. Joey can.
Is Joey?
It's Joey's turn.
You can always clip.
That's our. That's. By the way, I just want everyone to know that's the standard on. Is if something happens, just you say Joey can edit it in post.
This is true.
And sometimes he'll
if
do
it's something he can't edit in post, he can edit it.
And even sometimes he won't actually edit in post.
Oh, he's not leaving it in there.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh.
You guys.
Whoops.
Thanks, Steve.
Feel free to fart.
Yeah.
Fart's abandoned.
So much farting.
Joey will get it.
Oh no.
Burp really loudly into the microphone. Joey will get it in post.
It'll turn that into every word you say for an entire sentence.
Come on, I need some Foley for when we actually play. So just give me your best. Give me your best parts. That's a good one. All right.
See us down here.
That is wet and creamy and hella steamy.
Oh my god, it hurts to
Yeah, you gotta loosen. You're putting you're holding your face too hard.
Nothing. I've got nothing.
No, we need a variety of farts. And, somebody's wearing corduroy pants. That's a different sound.
I think
That was like a duck call.
It wasn't like that. Don't.
Wait.
That's fire hydrant. Wow.
I'm trying to do like the squeaker. Yeah, wait. There it is.
We're gonna edit out.
I don't know if you knew how good I am at picking farts.
Don't think I'm not going to use this.
No, you are.
There's so many cool statements on record right now that I am not going to take. So I just want you to remember that the next time you're about to say something.
You're the gatekeeper. Gia's the keymaster.
There we go.
I'm literally crying
I
right
know
now.
who will come to when I need a real good fart.
You just get like a Facebook message from Joey
right
like
after Thanksgiving, you'd be like, I know what I need.
Everybody comes to Gia's.
Hey, Gia, can you send me one of those smackers? One of those wet smackers?
I need one cracked rat courtesy of Gia Grill.
I don't know why I'm so good at
I want somebody in tight denim, tight jeans on a leather couch with a blanket over the...
3 hours later.
Not only did you manage to nail that, but you actually got it specific to my Uncle Dave. I don't know.
I can't breathe.
Gorgeous.
R.I.P. my Uncle Dave.
All my uncles are dead, so I didn't want to use a real one.
All my uncles are
Disrespectful.
dead.
No, I was saying your uncle was everyone's Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
Mine's.
So just the
I don't
universe
have
is
a-
Uncle Dave.
I don't have an Uncle Dave.
Yes, you do.
We all have an uncle.
Unfortunately, he's dead now.
He died.
Why would you give me
never
an
met
Uncle
him.
Dave
We
and
all-
then
we
take
all-
him away
we-
so cruelly?
We all have a dead Uncle
The
Dave.
good ones
That's
always
how it
die
starts.
too.
There's a box for you in your mom's closet. She's going to give to you on your wedding day
It's just
from
this-
Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I didn't like how that was starting off. There's a box for you in your mom's
It's
closet.
your Uncle Dave's. It's your
For
Uncle
we
Dave's
put
head.
you in it and leave
It's
you there.
mummified.
It's
It's
just
just-
your Uncle Dave.
It's your something old. It's just him.
It's just
He's just been living in my mom's closet.
What?
for mom's
Let's go.
No,
entire
he's
life.
ashen.
Is she finally getting married? Mazel tov. It's a mitzvah. I've been in there a long time. On my back.
Does
It's okay, I'm allowed to make these jokes. I'm cut.
Does everyone have an Uncle Dave box of Uncle Dave in their closet waiting for them to get married?
Yes.
Throw everything out.
yeah. I'm
When
pretty
you
sure.
got married, did your mom or dad put a box of Uncle Dave?
Yeah. Well, like I had I've said this many times, but like right around like the beginning or middle of the 90s, one of the Jaffies must have disrupted a mummy's tomb because they all just started dying at once.
Oh my
And
god.
so, yeah, everybody was all in a box, and they all just came crawling back. They're like, it's a mitzvah. And they all talk like Jackie Mason for no reason. It's really leaning into the making fun of my heritage thing. Really milking.
As soon as anybody's ready to get back on track.
Okay.
One more fart.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Let's fart us back in. All right.
Majestic.
Short and sweet.
So many more
All right,
superpowers.
Joey.
All right. So I'm playing a Raider Hanson.
A Raider Hanson?
Raider.
Raider is his
Raider Hanson.
Like Raider Hanson?
No,
Yeah.
just Rader.
Radar?
How did I know
ER.
that? How did I know how to spell
Raider.
that? I got it right the first time. I can't believe I got it.
Like Dennis
Is that his
Raider?
real
That might
name?
be insensitive.
Raider Hanson. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
BTK.
Is that...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
What about,
Not the band, though.
What
Other
about
one.
what about the BTK?
Dennis Raider is his name.
Yes, it is. You're right. Are you murdering people?
I don't know.
Yeah, see?
Listen, we gotta play the game first. You can't just ask a question like that.
You can't go asking people, are you a murderer?
7 months later,
when did BTK...
Raider has killed at least one
He's like
person.
active in
arrested.
like the
That person's a part of the broadcast.
2015?
And I'm calling it right
And when was he active?
Late 70s to early mid 80s.
He was very young.
Very young boy.
An early
You go to church?
jump.
8-year-old.
Doing all this
Edit.
binding and torturing.
This is our
And
crossover
killing.
episode with My Favorite Murder.
Sounds good.
My favorite Raider.
His mom is Joy Hanson. Dad is William Hanson. He's a carpenter
Union?
of sorts. No, he's freelance. He makes his own hours.
Could be some conflict there.
He's really good at making clocks.
Dad or Raider?
The dad.
Yeah, Raider.
Clocks and carpentry.
Clocks and carpentry.
I mean, that's probably the name of his business.
Clocks.
Back in the days, like clocks.
The mom I haven't figured out yet. Joy Hanson. He has 2 younger twin sisters.
Ooh, that's gotta be super annoying.
Gotta
That's
have
awesome.
at least one set of twins.
I have them now as Cindy and Sarah, but I'm not committed to that.
No, that's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sounds right.
All right.
What are Cindy and Sarah into? What does they do?
I haven't figured that out yet. Cindy and Sarah.
These are important questions.
I'm assuming they're...
Circle back to it. First off, like, what's Raider like? What does he do? Like, what's his deal?
So as his type, I put scrubby nerd herder. So he's kind of like he's kind of a bully, but not. He's sort of passive. I'm kind of imagining like a young like Ted Theodore Logan before he like met Bill, like, and he's kind of sort of scrappy, and he hasn't
a lot of nut slaps.
Yeah, he's not so much into that. He's just kind of like
nut slaps, maybe?
Get out of my way. Like he's just kind of
Does he do the hand to face plant? Like
he's plenty of that. Just like let me see. I have under his training. I have disgraced Boy Scout.
Oh my god,
that's beautiful.
Great.
Fall from grace.
Could not. He could not.
That's good.
He could not do it. It was just.
No one else could be a Boy Scout. Sorry, Gia.
Wait, what was that?
Raider Hanson.
What? Yeah. So, what is his day to day? Like, what is he into?
He's definitely a music guy, but he's.
What kind of music?
I would give him a little bit of an eclectic taste, but he's definitely more of a metal guy.
Nice.
Iron Maiden.
All right.
It's probably his number one.
You know some kids that are about to start a band.
Yeah, you do.
But he also dabbles in Michael Jackson because
he's a traitor.
well
because I hate Michael Jackson.
I mean because I don't know if this is I think it's the right time. He heard Van Halen on
Van Halen
on Beat It, and he was like, "Yeah, this guy, I'm cool with Michael Jackson because
that's true.
That was kind of like the gateway to entry for him."
There's a weird thing happening, like, it was not much later, I guess, like maybe 3 or 4 years later that Slayer's Kerry King was on Those League to Brooklyn. So like there was crossover happening.
Yeah, that was like he's into
When did Aerosmith and Run DMC happen?
That's later, I think. I think that's like 85, 86.
Yeah.
Between 84 and 86, if I had to.
What year was that?
Yeah, 85. So, I mean, but, like, yeah, there's something to be said for knowing stuff outside of your tiny little scene. All right. Yeah, what are the sisters? What's their deal?
They're very girly. Like, just, always wearing pink. They're both blonde. Kind of that kind of deal.
Can they both be?
Yeah.
Can they both be ballerinas? But only one's good at it.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. Oh man!
I just thought of it.
Like maybe your parents are trying to like get them both to perform because it's like they're both cute and they're twins.
What?
But Cindy is so much better.
There's like a whole Black Swan thing happening.
Yeah,
there's a tale of two sisters
to get
just
them
waiting.
to.
It's all in the background of like your
Yeah,
stuff.
they're trying to get them to like do modeling and
Two
like
10-year-old girls are slowly going insane.
And they notice Sarah's kind of more like me, but they're like aggressively trying to get her not.
There you go. They're like pre-Olsen twins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably a good way to put it. They're the Olsen twins. No, I like
They probably went up for the part, but
like,
didn't get it. When would that have been? That would have been.
No, that's
it would have been later,
Yeah.
but
88, 89, but that's when they're babies.
They were babies on Full House.
Because I exist because of that baby.
What?
My parents decided they wanted to have kids based on the moment they were watching Full House.
that's really weird.
That's a legitimate thing I was told, too. I want to point out that I know that for a fact, and that's what's weird about it.
You're here because of Full House?
I'm here because of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Super weird.
I know. I agree.
Oh my god. You never told me that story. Oh, Jesus.
I feel like it's probably just not come up. I feel like.
Real talk, not a test.
Oh my god. I almost did. Do you guys have a pet? Because three kids with twins and the parents. I feel like
Where do you live?
for some reason it's a pet.
I'm gonna say that the dad is pretty successful at, he makes a good amount of money making craft, whatever.
Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Craft. He's excellent. He's just excellent at that too. He's a good cook. But I don't know.
Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. So your dad has a deal with Harrison Lumber.
Oh,
Because there's the lumberyard.
that works.
Yolanda Harrison.
Yes. Yes.
So he sells stuff for them. Alright, so yeah, you just kind of average home in Clearfield.
I'm kind of also imagining Raider having like a lot of like World War II memorabilia, like stuff scattered around his room.
Okay, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of helmets.
Yeah,
a lot of
helmets,
scalps.
like goggles, like gloves.
Shell casings.
You've got a friend on the edge of town named Dale Duke.
Oh my god.
Oh
He
no.
has the coolest stuff for you.
All right.
Yeah, you'd be in that army supply constantly.
Yeah.
He runs Duke's Army Supply. He's like an older guy, Vietnam vet. Like,
You want to hear all of his stories.
Oh yeah, I'm like there any chance I get. Okay.
Some people go to the mall, some people go to like a roller rink. You literally just go to that.
I want to hear the war stories. I like that.
and it's cool if you hang around there, you get to see bikers sometimes. So yeah, between that place and Blackie's Lounge, you've got like a sort of edge town thing going on. Blackie's is the sole concert venue in town, and it's it's not where good kids go. It's on the edge of town between Fairview and Clearfield, and it's sort of on the far eastern edge of town. Bad Brains probably played there once or twice because they're local, local heavy metal acts and punk acts will come through. Kind of a dive, think like Roadhouse kind of place.
Okay.
Roadhouse. Is it my turn? Are you done? Or
so.
if it's cool if you're not.
No, I think
Because I mean, I feel like we're gonna circle back around.
Yeah.
We're going to get multiple stabs at this.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Getting a feel for who everybody is out of the gate.
Because I have tentative stuff, but I'm gonna need some assistance on coming up with the rest of this gal. So my princess is Donna Maitland, which is a name that I came up with.
That's great.
Thought that it sounded familiar and realized it was a very obscure reference to something, but I'm not gonna say what.
Got it right.
Sounds really familiar.
No. That's the reference that I was intending, but the full name, Donna Maitland, is a reference.
Oh.
Did you think of what it was?
No, I googled it. Because I'm bad.
Oh,
because
you're fresh.
I was like,
you're a bad person, Googler.
I have the memory.
You're Clue Gulliger, coolest Googler.
All right, don't tell me. Nobody tell me.
You're definitely not going to know it.
Okay.
It's not a thing that I feel you would have any
It's at 90s?
It's very 90s.
It's very 90s.
Okay, yeah, it's outside of my wheel.
But it's staying.
I was
Her
like,
name
I
is
knew
Donna
it.
Maitland.
Because I told you about my thing with that show.
Did you know that M. Night Shyamalan wrote that episode? I'm pretty sure.
I'm looking it up now. I'm just giving
Don't.
I know exactly what it is.
Everybody. Okay. So anyway, so she is the. So I'm thinking kind of possibly Swan Princess. Like she's 14, but she's just developed, and so like last year nobody gave a shit about who she was, but now everybody's starting to notice her. I would like her father to own one of the town businesses. I might need assistance on where there's a space that needs filling.
Let me crack open the book. Let's see what we got here.
Okay. Her mom works checkout at the grocery store, but mostly because she's a gossip, not that she actually needs a job. She just needs to be in, like, she's one of those people that, like, she needs to work. Like, she doesn't need the money because her husband owns a business, but she needs to get out of the house and needs, like, something to do, so grocery store because
she needs
gossip.
to go
I'm
somewhere.
going to throw you a bone here. Here's something I think you'll like. Your dad, perhaps, manager and part or total owner of the Kingston Multiplex.
That's okay, so here's the thing. Before I found out that before I remembered that this was Clearfield, I was going to have him own, like, the old Majestic Theater, so that's perfect.
Okay,
Absolutely. So owns the movie theater.
Yeah, we've never actually gone into what the Kingston's like.
You've outraged.
Except that it's full of
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Aren't
No,
all
I don't
movie
think
theaters
it's
full of
like
gremlins?
I definitely also live in Fairview, but it's probably pretty comparable. Like I don't think we're.
I know. But
I
I
probably
like
live
that
in-
competition if it existed.
My character probably lives in Fairview also.
We're all a bunch of rich kids.